Hello, and welcome to the very first Great Croasdaile Bake Off. I'm your host, Caroline Riskowich from Life Enrichment. Right now, I'm sitting in the empty auditorium on a stage completely by myself. That's why I'm not wearing my mask. And waiting for our 3 celebrity judges to join me to taste delicious autumn treats created by our resident bakers. 6 different residents each are putting their recipes to the test. Our judges won't know who made what. They don't even know what residents entered this bake-off. They will be conducting a blind taste test and scoring without knowing which baker baked what. Thank you so much to our 6 brave residents who made their signature autumn treats to be put to the test. When the judges join me on stage, they will each be sitting at their own table, 6 feet apart, with the 6 different baked goods pre-packaged and laid out in front of them. The items are only labeled with a number 1 through 6, no name. So as the judges taste, they'll be giving their true, unfiltered opinions on the items that are being put to the test. At the end of our show, we'll reveal who our 6 talented bakers are, as well as which item got the best score from our judges. So sit back, relax, maybe get a treat of your own, and enjoy the Great Croasdaile Bake Off. Ready, set, bake! Thank you for tuning in to the very first Croasdaile Village Resident Bake Off. I'm your host, Caroline from Life Enrichment, and I'm here with our panel of 3 celebrity judges. We'll start by having each of the judges introduce themselves by saying their name and how long they've been at Croasdaile. Judge number 1.
I'm Jennifer Bage with Resident Services, and I've been here 1.5 years.
Jennifer, thank you so much for volunteering to judge. Is there anything in particular you'll be looking for in these items today?
Taste and spices on certain things, how they taste, and the consistency of them as well.
Taste, spices, and consistency. I think you are a judge to keep our eye on, Jennifer. Judge number 2, please introduce yourself.
Earl Powell. I've been here 10 years.
We're so glad you're here, Mr. Powell, and you're the president of the Resident Association. Is that correct? What will you be looking for in these items today? Anything you're excited about?
Not anything specific.
You're just going to see how each one tastes as you go. Well, we're so glad you're here, Mr. Powell. And can we expect you to be a very tough judge, or do you think you'll be nice about each thing you taste?
How about in between?
In between. Okay, we'll take it. Meet our 3rd judge. Tell us about yourself.
My name is Tashonda. I'm in the Dining Services Department, and I've been here for 17 years.
17 years? Tashonda, that's amazing. But you're only 17 years old. She told me to say that. What are you looking forward to in these items? And you work in dining, so I'm wondering if you'll be a tough judge.
Not too tough. I'm interested to see what the items are going to taste like with the ingredients that I don't necessarily eat.
Okay, you saw some of these items and you thought, those are not ingredients I usually enjoy. but you're going to be brave.
Of course.
She doesn't have a choice. I'll explain how today's bake-off is going to work. This is a blind taste test. Our 3 judges have no idea who made which item. They don't even know which residents entered this bake-off. In front of them, they each have 6 different baked goods. Oh, Jennifer made all of them. That is the surprise ending. Jennifer is the secret baker. You must have been very busy last night. They each have 6 items. I will instruct them which one to taste based on the number. Taste item number 1, etc. After each item, I will go to them for their review on what they've tasted. So, judges, are you ready? Let's get started. Go ahead and reach for item number 1. Item number 1. You can unwrap it. Feel free to take a bite, eat the whole thing, eat half and save half for later. Okay, say that again to Shonda.
It smells really good.
She hasn't even tasted it, and she said it smells really good. Jennifer agrees. So you know these judges are serious because they're doing smell tests before they even take their first bite. So go ahead and enjoy the pumpkin bread that is in front of you. So that is item number 1, a classic pumpkin bread. And we're going to go to Jennifer first. Jennifer, what did you think of this classic pumpkin bread?
It's good. For me, I like a little more spice in the pumpkin, so maybe a little bit more spice for this one. The moisture is good with it as well, so thumbs up.
Great feedback. So a little more spice, but the moisture was good. How about the texture?
The texture of it is good as well.
Okay.
It's like a bread, a good moist bread.
A good moist bread. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. Next up, Mr. Powell, what did you think of item number 1, the classic pumpkin bread?
I like the texture, the taste, and with the nuts in there, the chewiness of it.
Perfect, Mr. Powell. So it seems like this one hit all the right notes for you.
Yes.
Great. Next, we're with Tashonda. Remember, she's from dining, so she knows what she's talking about. Tashonda, what did you think of item number 1, the classic pumpkin bread?
I like the moistness of it. I like it that it had just enough nuts, like not too many. And it smelled really good, so it's okay.
Okay, so we got great feedback on item number 1. Give this item a number between 1 and 10 on their scorecard. So our judges are publicly giving feedback about each item and privately giving it a score 1 through 10 on the paper in front of them. At the end, we'll tally up the scores to find out our winner. Judges, go ahead and open item number 2. Item number 2, we have rum balls. Some of our judges were a little concerned if they might feel inebriated after eating these rum balls, but we will make sure everyone gets home safely. So you have 2 rum balls here of slightly different varieties. So maybe take a bite of each and be thinking about what you like or don't like about these rum balls. Okay, Now let's hear from the judges on item number 2, the rum balls.
The one rum ball that has the granular sugar to it is a little more moisture than what I would want. The second rum ball with the powdered sugar to it, that's what I expect in a rum ball. The rum flavoring is definitely there. Props to you. They're great.
Great. Good review from Jennifer, and you preferred the one with the powdered sugar. Yes. Thank you, Judge Jennifer. Judge Powell, what did you think of these rum balls? Do you agree with Jennifer that they were really good?
They were good, a little stronger on the taste than I would be usually wanting, and more moist than I think they should be.
So that's feedback from 2 judges that say maybe a little too moist, but the rum flavor really came through. Thank you, Judge Powell. I know we can count on Tashonda for a good, unfiltered review. What did you think of the rum balls?
They were really good. I prefer the one that has the sugar. I think the sugar the powdered sugar gives it the texture of it. Kind of sort of balances out the rum a little bit. The other one is really strong, but they're both good.
Okay, so the strong rum flavor is something everybody agreed on, and Jennifer and Tashonda both liked the one with the powdered sugar. Okay, judges, go ahead and reach for item number 3. This is item number 3. It's another pumpkin bread, but where item number 1 was a classic pumpkin bread, this is a pumpkin loaf with cream cheese. Everybody take a bite or 2. See what you think. We're going to start our judging with Tashonda this time. I saw her nodding over here. All right, Tashonda, what did you think of the pumpkin bread with the cream cheese swirl?
So this is one that I was a little worried about because I'm not a cheese eater. But it was perfect. It was really good, actually. Whoever made this, I need this.
Oh, my word. She said perfect. And whoever made it, she's going to need some. That is pretty...
It's really good. Mm-hmm.
That is pretty high praise from Tashonda. Do you think, you don't have to tell us, but do you think it might be worthy of a perfect score?
We'll see.
She's got to maintain some of that mystery over here, but she did call it perfect. Thank you, Tashonda. Mr. Powell, what did you think of item number 3? The pumpkin bread with a cream cheese swirl.
It's a good combination.
A good combination. Okay, so the pumpkin with the cream cheese, they really go well together.
Yes, they do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Judge Powell. Okay, here she is, Judge Jennifer. What did you think of the pumpkin bread with the cream cheese swirl?
I like the cream cheese swirl in there. I like cream cheese, so that's an advantage for me. To me, it still needed more pumpkin flavor to it in this one. Maybe a little more spice as well, but that's my taste preference. All in all, it's still good and still moist.
So we know from Jennifer's reviews, the more spice, the better. Good to know. Go ahead and open item number 4. This one is a little different than the sweet treats we had for items 1 through 3. This is a snack cracker made from cheddar cheese. Let me say, when I was receiving the items, this one really caught my eye as something I wanted to try. So this is item number 4. We're going to start with Tashonda again on this review. Tashonda said she was worried about judging in this competition because she doesn't eat many things with cheese. So let's see what she thought about these crackers.
It's nice if you're a cheese eater. I wouldn't.
Okay, there you have it. It's nothing personal against the...
Personal. It's just I don't like cheese, and the cheese pops out at you in those.
The cheese pops out at you. So that's a good review if you like cheese. I think that makes a lot of sense, but it's just not for you. And you know what, Tashonda, we want this to be a safe space where everyone feels welcome. So don't worry, we will not force you to eat any more cheese. Thank you for being willing to try it. All right, Judge Powell, what did you think of the cheddar cheese snack cookies?
I like cheese and strong flavor, and I like the crispiness of the, it's not a cracker, but whatever you call it.
I think I've called it a cracker and a cookie, so I'm not sure. She wrote cookies on the entry, so either one is fine. But you liked the strong cheese flavor?
Yes, I did.
I agree with you that the texture looks really nice too. There's a good sort of snap to it, a little bit of a crunch, right? Thank you, Judge Powell. Now we have Judge Jennifer. What did you think of the cheddar cheese snack cookies?
So I'm a big fan of cheese myself. So I like the cheddar taste to it. It does have that strong cheddar taste. I agree with Mr. Powell. And it reminds me a lot of cheese straws, but there's a little something extra in there with a little more crunch to it. So I like these a lot better than cheese straws. So great job.
I also love cheese straws. So actually at the end of this, I'm going to need everyone to return their cheddar cookies to me, and I will make sure they go to a safe home. I will be eating those. All right, folks, we're getting close to the end of the line. We are moving on to item number 5. Item number 5 is a pumpkin bread with a browned butter drizzle glaze. Yes, Jennifer already is making a yummy face at this, and she hasn't even opened her box. Oh, it was not a yummy face. Oh, it was a nervous face. Okay, she's not a fan of browned butter. I am. Let's see if Mr. Powell is. We'll start our judging here in the middle with Mr. Powell. What did you think of the glazed pumpkin bread? I heard that it has a little hint of ginger in there too. Are you getting that? What did you think?
I couldn't identify the particular taste, but if it's ginger, it's good. It's a little more moist than I would like.
Okay, so very moist. Maybe that's because of the glaze that's been sort of sitting on it. But overall, would you say it was good?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Perfect. All right, Jennifer, we'll come to you next. You're licking your fingers.
Getting the glaze off of my fingers. It does have the ginger. I can taste the ginger in there, and that's really good. And tasting around the brown butter part, good, moist. And I agree with Mr. Powell where the brown butter is. It's maybe a little too moist. So, good job.
Thank you, Jennifer. Tell us your unfiltered, raw opinion of this pumpkin bread with browned butter drizzle.
I would agree. I think it'd be better if it was like slightly warm. Because I think being that it's been sitting, it makes it too moist. But overall flavor is really good.
Okay, thank you so much. I can agree. I'm sure all of these would taste even more incredible if they were right out of the oven. All right, judges, go ahead and open your final item. Item number 6 is a homemade chocolate biscotti. Of course, all of these items are homemade, but biscotti is one that, at least personally, I usually buy. And this looks delicious from the kitchen of one of our residents. This resident baker did say that this biscotti is best dipped in some coffee or milk. So maybe imagine that as you're tasting it. So this is item number 6, our final item. And it's a chocolate biscotti. All right, Mr. Powell, what do you think of this item?
I love chocolate, and I love things that are crispy, and this has got the combination of the two. It's good.
Whoever made this must have known you were going to be a judge and that you like things that are chocolate and crispy. I have to say, standing here next to you, I can smell the chocolate, and that's such a good sign. It's not even a warm dessert, but still the aroma is wafting towards me. It smells really good. Thank you, Mr. Powell. Jennifer, what did you think of the chocolate biscotti?
I'm thinking I'm bringing this with me tomorrow to go with my coffee in the morning. It's really good. I like the fact too that they added like cranberries in there as well. So I'm loving it.
I was wondering why you were saving this, but now I know it's because you want it with your coffee in the morning. Okay, you won't be able to sleep tonight. Looking forward to this in the morning. Tashonda, what did you think of this chocolate biscotti?
It was really good. I was a little scared at first, but the cranberry in it adds a nice flavor to it. So it evened out the chocolate perfect. That was good.
Thank you so much, Tashonda. All right, judges, I'll let you take one last look at the spread in front of you. Look at all 6 items and make sure on your score sheet, each one has a score between 1 and 10. Before we let our judges go and our accountants get to work on tabulating the winner, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to say? Any item that you want to give a special shout out to, or a message you may have for our resident bakers?
I want to give a shout out to the pumpkin bread with cream cheese swirl. I will be looking forward to a loaf of that.
Whoever made that pumpkin bread with the cream cheese swirl, you know what Tashonda wants for Christmas. No pressure. Thank you so much for coming, Tashonda. Mr. Powell, do you have any closing words? Thank you so much for being a judge today.
I have a shout out to all those that prepared these 6 items, but also I know there are a lot of good cooks in this village, residents, not the association, but living here at Croasdaile.
That's a great point, Mr. Powell. We had 6 residents who were courageous enough to enter this very first bake-off, and they are just a small sample size of the hundreds of residents who are really talented in the kitchen. So thank you for mentioning that, and thank you for being here today. Okay, Jennifer, any closing words? Thank you so much for being a judge today. I do want to give a shout out myself to Jennifer for being willing to be our judge on deck. She was very flexible and willing to join us at the last minute. So thank you so much. Any standouts from today?
2 standouts, really. The chocolate biscotti, of course, and the cheddar cheese snack cookies. Like I said, I'm not a fan of cheese straws, but these are top. I can't give it enough rave for me.
I'm wondering if maybe our residents should start a bakery. I think all of us would go buy items, right? Yes. Well, thank you so much to our fabulous celebrity judges. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then I'll be back with the results from today's Great Croasdaile Bake Off. Stay tuned. And we're back with the results of the very first Croasdaile Bake Off. Our 3 judges, Mr. Powell, Tashonda, and Jennifer, have all gone home. They're probably enjoying the leftovers from today's Bake Off. But I've been up crunching the numbers to see who was our first ever winner. I'm not great at math, but I feel confident in my numbers adding up to an extremely high score for today's baking champion. I want to say again, thank you so much to all 6 of the residents who entered their baked goods in today's taste test. I also want to thank our 3 judges, as well as Krissa for running the camera and being our executive producer. Shout out also to Primus, who helped set up the tables, and the team who set up the stage for today's show. So, without further ado, let's announce the winner of today's Bake Off. With a score of 24 points, the winner is, drum roll please, the chocolate biscotti. Congratulations to the baker who made this delicious treat, one Dale Gaddis. Congratulations, Mrs. Gaddis, on winning the first Croasdaile Bake Off with your delicious chocolate biscotti. Let me say it was a tight race. Our 3 judges all had varying opinions. On some items, one judge would give a 10 and another would give a 2. So it really came down to the average scores. All of our bakers were very close. It was a tight race, but ultimately the chocolate biscotti came out on top. I want to thank Marie Grauerholz, who made the classic pumpkin bread, item number 1. I'd also like to thank Janet Sarney, who made the rum balls, item number 2. Item number 3, the pumpkin bread with a cream cheese swirl that Tashonda wants more of, was made by Lou Van Bruggen. Item number 4, the delicious crackers were made by Marilyn Hughes. I'd also like to thank baker of item number 5, Ruth Ann Anderson, for making the delicious glazed pumpkin bread. And lastly, again, thank you to baker of item number 6, our winner, Dale Gaddis, who made the chocolate biscotti. Thank you to all of our bakers for submitting your incredibly delicious treats. We're so glad you entered the competition, and we're so glad that you're part of the Croasdaile Village family. Thank you all for tuning in to the Great Croasdaile Bake Off. We'll see you next time.